Bermuda is a very popular destination to not just stay at, but also visit as a port of call. But this summer of 2021, you will be able to sail out of Bermuda. So I want to Darlene 7 for things to see, do, or think about for Bermuda. Number one, getting around the island. So they don't let tourists rent automobiles, but they found a workaround. So they will let you rent electric cars and scooters, and of course there's a ferry and a bus, and you can get a bus pass, like a day bus pass, at a bunch of the different local stores. I don't think you could buy it actually on the bus. So there's a number of ways to get around that don't require you to have an automobile, and the electric car was really quite spiffy. It was a lot of fun to drive around in. Number two, if you want to buy rum, you will need to do it before like around noon on the day that your ship leaves, because they will not will purchase it with a duty free if they can't take the rum over to the ship themselves. So you usually have to do it around noon because the ships usually leave around 4 or 5. So either buy it the first day that you're on the island, or definitely get there early so that you don't miss out on the rum. So 2A, there is a popular drink on the island. It's called the Bermuda Rum Swizzler, and everybody thinks that they have the best, so try a few of them if you are inclined to drink cocktails and see what you think the best is. I didn't find any I didn't like, so I tried as many as I felt comfortable doing. So very yummy drink, and then I'll put the little Gosling's recipe for it, but all the recipes are just a little bit different. So another place that you want to go to is St. George, and it's a beautiful little village, and it just feels like it's been there for a long time, which it has, but it's really, really cleaned up and really, really nice. And it's kind of on the other side of where that you'll dock from, and like Bermuda is kind of known for like that little J shape, which is like 7 islands that are connected by a roadway. But Bermuda is really like over 100 islands. It is all of Bermuda, but the popular part that is kind of those 7 that are connected. So St. George is kind of on the other end, and that's kind of where we get a little bit of sticker shock. So make sure that you budget for drinks and meals on the island, and they're a little bit more expensive than, normally all of the islands are a little bit more expensive because they're having to bring most of their stuff in, but Bermuda was particularly expensive. So make sure that you're prepared. Your budget is prepared, or you can always try to get back on the ship and have your lunch there and then head back out if you want to kind of economize. But the little bit of sticker shock, be ready. This Bermuda has 2 lighthouses. They have one at Gibbs Hill, and then St. David's, and obviously the view is amazing from a lighthouse because they're very high up and you can basically see all of the island. So they're very cool, and they're very fixed up, and they were very, really clean and really nice places to visit. The popular beach is Horseshoe Bay, but there's also Jobson Cove, and those are about a mile. And my husband and some friends that we were with, they wandered over there, ended up there when we had stopped at Horseshoe Bay, just almost by accident because everything was so pretty and interesting. So the Horseshoe Bay is kind of the popular one that you hear everybody go to, and it has the really pretty pink sand, and I guess it's the coral and some calcium carbonate that got all crushed together and makes that pretty pink sand. It doesn't seem super pink until you compare it to other sands, and then it seems like really pink. So, but it's really quite pretty, and you definitely want to see the cool stuff. Also, especially if you're renting one of the little electric cars, there's lots of like little stops where you can stop, and they have like little rest stops for like they have a bathroom, and then you can walk down to the beach. And we did that a couple of times and found some really cool places that were completely unpopulated. So Horseshoe Bay is going to have a lot of people crawling about, and it took like my husband a really long time to wait for people to get off here so he could take a picture of it. But if you want some private time, there's a lot of little coves and stuff that you can hang out in. So Number 6, the Royal Dockyards. That's where the ships will be at, and it's all like fort built with rocks, that kind of stuff. But it is really well taken care of, and they're still using the space. It's restaurants and shops and even some residents. There's one place that you'll go by that looks like it was probably a shipmaster's house. It says, "Please, private residents, please, stay out of my space." Um, um, but the whole area is just really well taken care of, and there's lots of really nooks and crannies. If you kind of go back in the back area, you'll find a really cool restaurant. We found the Frog and Onion, and it was a really fun place to grab some stuff to eat. But there's like lots of shops back there. You can kind of almost get lost in the beauty of that area, and it's got a nice little middle park area, and like I say, lots of shops and fun things to do. So one thing that I thought was really fun was the Glass Beach, and it's in the West End, and it's called Black Bay Beach, and it's basically like three coves, and it is covered with broken pieces of glass, and it's quite lovely as the sun catches the little pieces of glass. But it's where they go gather up all of the broken glass to make like the jewelry and stuff. It asks that you please not take it, because I think this is kind of like a local thing. Maybe they pay some kind of fee or something to go pick up the glass, but it is really quite pretty. You definitely want to wear solid shoes because it's glass. And the water washes up and kind of like softens all the edges to the glass, and it's a pretty cool thing to see. So here's some bonus stuff. These are things that we didn't do but are definitely on the list for next time. And before I get started with the bonus items, I would like to invite you to subscribe and like the video. I like to try to make videos that'll take you a little bit off the beaten path, but like not too far off the beaten path. So some things that we're going to go to next time, they actually have some caves. They have like Crystal Cave and Fantastic Cave. It's in the Hamilton area, and so definitely want to get back to that. And then there's tons of water sports. We were there in April, so the water was still really cold, so it was a little too cold to scuba or snorkel, but that obviously is really good stuff to do. There's paddle boarding, there's all the different kind of water sports, especially if you're there when it's a little bit warmer. Totally would be really fun to do. That's definitely on the list. Also in like March and April, apparently there's a lot of whales going back and forth, so you can go whale watching. Now we were there in April and we didn't see any, but we also weren't looking for them because I didn't know that until after I came back and said, oh look, we could have like maybe done some whale watching. So if they're there in March or April, maybe consider that, because that could be really fun. There's also a place called Tobacco Bay Beach, and that seemed like a really cool beach to go to that's also really popular. We didn't get to that one yet either because again we only had 2 days, 1 night and 2 days when we had gone to Bermuda, and there was just not enough time to see everything that there was to see. So let me know what your favorite part of Bermuda is, if you've been there, or what are you looking forward to doing. So until next time, I'm Charlene from islandjumper.travel saying live your truth and live well.